This strap is made as one long strip of fabric that is sewn together at the ends, so that you don't have an extra thick part here where it wraps around. But it is sewn together diagonally. You will have an extra thick part at that where the two ends meet, but it's not next to the swivel hooks. So I'm going to show you how to do the short strap. To figure out how long your strap needs to be, you figure out your finished length. Now, if you've already finished your purse, you can use a flexible measuring tape, and you can attach it to your swivel hooks, and you can figure out exactly the length that you want your strap. But I have some suggested lengths in the pattern, and they are a little different depending on whether you have a frame with chain loops or whether you have used the little D-rings on the side. For this, I'm using a frame with chain loops, and I just want it over the arm. So the finished length of the strap will be 13 inches, and the length of this is 13 plus 13 plus the width of this strap, which is 1.5. Now I'm using 3/4 inch swivel rings, which is half of 3/4 is half of 1.5 inches. And if you have a smaller one or a bigger one, just make sure that your strap is twice the width of the inside diameter of your swivel hook. Okay, so this is not going to be a very long strap. Finished product is going to be about this long. So what I already did is I drew a line right up the middle of my strap. And I'm going to grab my sewing clips. If you don't have double-sided tape, or you don't like using double-sided tape, you can always just fold this towards the center and use the sewing clips to fasten it in place all the way up and down. But that gets to be a whole lot of sewing clips. So it can work. I've done it. I've done it even with a thinner strap, but it's a pain. So I prefer to use double-sided tape. I'm going to put this right up the middle of my strap, but I am not going to do the last couple of inches of my strap. I'm going to need that. This is very sticky double-sided tape. I'm going to need the last couple inches on each side without the double-sided tape, so I can sew these together. Okay, so I'm going to press this down. And I'm going to go ahead and fold these long edges towards the center. And I always start in the middle of my strap and move out. And I am meeting these in the center, which is marked with this line. And this is very heavy-duty double-sided tape. It will gum up my needle though, so I'll probably have to clean my needle regularly while sewing this, but I love how well it keeps this vinyl in place. Now, if you're using something that keeps a crease, you can iron this like this. But none of the straps that I'm using today, I'm using vinyl for this, red vinyl for a different one, waterproof canvas for a different one. None of them can be ironed. Okay, so now I have my strap, which is the final width of 3/4 inches, and I'm going to slip this both of these swivel hooks onto my strap. Make sure they're on the right finished side, and that this flat part is on this unfinished side. And then what I'm going to do is take this over to my machine. I'm not going to show you this part. And I'm going to take these ends and I'm going to put them like this, so they are perpendicular to each other. If you've ever done binding, quilt binding, or any other sort of binding, it's the same concept. You put it together perpendicular, and then I will sew from this corner to that corner in a straight line. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and I have sewn these ends together. I'm going to trim it. It's about 1/4 inch. And press it open. If I actually could press it with an iron, I would. And now I need a length of double-sided tape to go in between. And I will fold to the center line. It's bulky here, lots of bulky vinyl, but because it's at an angle, the bulk is spread out a bit. Okay, so I have one big loop with 2 swivel hooks, and it doesn't matter where this ends up. You can have it near an end or in the middle. And here you can now use sewing clips and clip it all together. And I generally alternate the sewing clips. I start at one end and move down. And I keep trying to make it flat and make sure it's not going to be curving on me. I could also throw another layer of double-sided tape if I wanted to, but then I'd be sewing through 3 layers of it. And that's 3 layers that would be gumming at my machine. So I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to sew this all the way around. I'm going to sew in a big rectangle back up here. Now this is a very heavy duty vinyl. If you have something that's not as heavy duty, one thing you can do is take a piece of ribbon and just place it right here. It will not be visible if it's say a 1/2 inch ribbon, and that'll help stabilize right here. Or you can open up your folded fabric and put the ribbon on the inside, or you can use Decaville. You can use waterproof canvas. Just a little piece like that can help stabilize the ends where so it doesn't stretch over time. So I'm going to go now and stitch that. Okay, so my strap is all finished. And it is ready to hook onto my purse.